Final Fight, one of the best beat-em-up games I grew up with. Before the ESRB, before Mortal Kombat, Final Fight was the boss in arcades and home consoles. Double Dragon was the start, but to me, Final Fight revolutionized it.
It's only fitting that I cover one of my favorite games. If I didn't, I would so hate myself in the morning. Trust me, I would.
Final Fight was released in December of 1989 for the arcade. It was originally going to be a sequel to the first Street Fighter game. Originally titled Street Fighter 89, it was going to go away from what the Street Fighter formula was and become a beat-em-up. But thanks to the geniuses at Capcom,
not the geniuses we have at the moment,
they decided to make it as a standalone release and call it Final Fight. After seeing how well Final Fight did, they would release it on December 21st of 1990 for the Super Famicom.
Otherwise known as the good old trusty Super Nintendo. Good boy.
Ironically, the US version of Final Fight for the SNES would not be released till September of 1991, which was understandable since the SNES was released a month prior. Europe wouldn't get their hands on Final Fight till December 10th of 1992. You had 3 characters to choose from in the arcade: Cody, Guy, and HAGGAR! Sadly, with the SNES version, they only had Cody and HAGGAR.
Which was understandable because with the capability of the SNES, it couldn't hold all 3 main protagonists. I could be wrong, though.
Well, Nintendo decided to fix it with Final Fight Guy, released in March 20th, 1992 in Japan, and later on for the US in June 1994. Sadly, the US version of Final Fight Guy was treated as a rental only at Blockbuster stores.
Yeah, this was before Netflix and GameFly. You know, when you had to go down to your local Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or whatever rental store you had at the time, especially local, when you had to go and rent something for this. You couldn't have the money to do it back then. You had to rent. See how old I am, people? Do you see how old I am?
This version would have Guy in it, replacing Cody. Duh. Ironically, Final Fight Guy nowadays are rare to find. Try finding it. If you do, prepare to pay up the ass. But still, it had many more re-releases, some packaged up with collections in the lot. The latest one released for it was bundled with a game called Magic Sword.
And before you ask, it's on the list. I'll cover it one day. Okay?
Both Final Fight and Magic Sword was released under the title Final Fight Double Impact. Released in April of 2010 for the Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network, this gave fans a chance to relive the glory days.
And now we're in 2013. Over 20 years since Final Fight was first released. The question is, has it stood the test of time? Well, let's find out right now, shall we?
You start with an introduction of Metro City, where for many years crime has run amok. The newly elected mayor, Mike HAGGAR, has promised to wipe out crime in Metro City. At the center of the problem is the Mad Gear Gang.
Oh my god, Mad Gear! Yeah. Let's pretend I didn't say that, okay? HAGGAR!
Mad Gear controls all of the major crime in Metro City. When they learn of HAGGAR's plans, they give him an offer he can't refuse. They kidnap his daughter, Jessica.
Nope. No way in hell. I am not playing that clip. There ain't no way in hell. Fuck you. I am so not playing that clip. No.
Now, pissed off as all hell, HAGGAR, along with Cody, Jessica's boyfriend, and Guy must go through Metro City and kick every last member of Mad Gear in the ass!
Not bad for an intro, I must say.
You choose between Cody, HAGGAR, and Guy, and the game begins. You start off in the slums of Metro City. After a few seconds, you meet most of the foot soldiers in the first level alone. Brad, Doug, Jay, Hollywood, Axel, Jake, G-Orbiter, 2P, and Bill Bull. The boss for the first level is named Damned. Sadly, in the console ports, they changed his name to Thrasher.
Yeah, I mean, who decides to name a kid Damned? I don't know.
Stage 2, you meet 5 more foot soldiers. Andor, Andor Jr., Slash, Roxy, and Poison. Wait a minute. Now, believe it or not, I got a lot to talk about. There was some controversy in Final Fight for the character Poison. Reason is, she's a woman. Before Chun-Li, they didn't think it was right to have a woman as a foot soldier. An executive at Capcom fully explained Poison's backstory. In reality, Poison is not a woman, she's a man. You know, transvestite. When it was time to release the SNES version of the game, Nintendo didn't want Poison in their version, despite her being a transvestite. So instead, they replaced her and Roxy, considering all the foot soldiers were merely palette swaps anyway. They replaced her and Roxy with 2 male characters named Billy and Sid. Yeah, that's Nintendo for you. Family-friendly fun. But at the time, understandable. Interesting note as well, Andor's full name later down the road was revealed to be Hugo Andor. Plus, him and Poison are teammates. And nowadays, nobody really gives a damn, and now they're saying Poison is really a woman. So, take it what you will. Let's just keep going. As you reach the end of the second level, you get to a ring where you fight Sodom, or if you're playing the old console ports, he was renamed Katana.
Okay, so, yeah, because he holds katana, so rename him Katana. Whatever.
After, you go to one of the bonus stages where you break a car. Because nothing says badass like breaking a fucking car with your punches and kicks. After you pretty much show that not even a car can stop you, one of the guys shows up and says, "Oh my god, it is a destroyed car." In the SNES version, they changed it to, "Oh my car."
Wow, a lot of changes to these versions. I guess after Poison, they didn't want to step on any more toes. In the 90 cents, I could see it, I guess. I mean, whatever.
We cut to the third stage, West Side, and 4 more foot soldiers show. Simmons, Elgato, Jake, and Wong Hu. Yeah, I gotta love palette swaps. Speaking of palette swaps, we get a mini-boss fight. Yeah, those are lovely. Who are they? 3 more versions of Andor. U Andor, F Andor, and G Andor. They're like the original Andor. Andor and Andor Jr. You have fun with that. Once you reach the end of level 3, you face off against EDE. And before you ask, they didn't change his name.
Well, he is a cop with the chest hair of Ron Jeremy.
The next stage you go to is the industrial area, and it's hard as hell to get through, somewhat, with the fire shooting out in some parts. Now, if you're playing the SNES version, guess what? The industrial area was removed, along with the boss for it, Rolento, due to memory limitations.
Now remember, there were limitations of the arcade version to the SNES version. It couldn't hold as much as it should have. I would have loved to see the industrial stage on the SNES version, but it was not to be. Oh well. I mean, what are you going to do, right? I mean, I'm not saying the SNES version is bad or anything. I'm just saying, I mean, yeah, I still like it. Don't get me wrong. No diss, pal. No diss. I promise you. No diss.
Like I just mentioned, once you go on the left, you fight the boss for this stage, Rolento. Just like HAGGAR, Cody, Poison, and Andor, Rolento gets popularity as well. He was in a future Street Fighter game, and Street Fighter Cross Mega Man. But yeah. We cut to another bonus stage where you break glass. Yeah, that's the sound of a badass. After, we cut to stage 5, the Bay Area. And this will be pretty much endurance from here on out. More enemies, copies of enemies come flying at you like mad.
Damn! It's like I'm playing a shoot-'em-up! I mean, I like shoot-'em-ups too, but go figure.
Once you get to the end, you fight the stage 5 boss, Abigail, and...
Really? Another Andor clone? Sheesh! This makes Sub-Zero and Scorpion look like children. Again, I guess the limitations of... Hey, wait a minute. Is that the face paint of the Ultimate Warrior? Oh, I see where they got the idea from now for Andor. Ultimate Warrior meets fucking Andre the Giant. So let me guess, I'm gonna have to load the spaceship with the rocket fuel or something like that. You gotta be kidding me.
We finally get to the final stage, Uptown, and just like the Bay Area, fighters are coming from left and right. It's well worth it. You get to the final boss, Belger, who is in a wheelchair. You're thinking, why would this guy be a threat, right? BAM! He has an arrow gun, and once you knock him off the wheelchair, the fucker walks!
In the SNES version, it changes to an office chair.
Once you beat Belger, the game ends with Jessica rescued and Metro City is now a safe haven to live by. Mad Gear is gone and will never be heard from again. Ever!
To this day, Final Fight is still one of my personal favorites of all time. I give Final Fight a 9 out of 10. If you're looking for it, I suggest going on to PS3 and Xbox 360 and get Final Fight Double Impact for 800 points on Xbox Live Arcade or $10 on PS3. Now, if you don't have a PS3 or 360, I do suggest getting the SNES version of Final Fight, which should be there for at least about a measly 800 Wii points. It depends if you're Wii U, if you have one, can let you do that. If you can't, get back to me on that, alright? I still recommend Final Fight to this day. I love the game. I really do. Until next time, I'm Oni, and keep on playing.